I honestly don't even know what to say right now. We just witnessed the most shocking trade in NBA history. Out of all the years I've watched hoops, there has never been anything that has come even close to this. I'm sitting on the couch and I get the Shams notification that Luka Doncic has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. You know when you go and play pickup or just talk to like random people who don't really follow the NBA and they go, oh, you know who my Lakers need? Luka Doncic. And you go, oh, that's dumb. That'll never happen. This is one of those trades. I genuinely can't even wrap my head around it. I'm trying to make sense of what this means for both teams, but I'm just stuck on the fact that Luka Doncic is now a Laker, and we're getting more news. Well, first of all, everybody thought Shams was hacked, but then Chris Haynes confirmed it, and everybody started to confirm it. But we just learned that the Mavericks approached the Lakers about this deal. They probably thought it was a prank call when this happened. Apparently, they approached them, and Nico Harrison, the Mavericks GM, says that they think it's a win-now move, that they need more defense. Defense wins championships. He put out this whole statement that I'm sure I'll put in this video here. But, it's Luka Doncic. That is a generational talent. He is top 3 in the world right now. He is all NBA first team after all NBA first team every single year. You literally just went to the finals with Luka and Kyrie, and when they've been healthy, they've been really good. Something must have happened behind the scenes. I refuse to believe that just completely unprompted, and they even said Luka didn't request a trade, but that completely unprompted without any drama behind the scenes, that they were like, hey, you know what we need to do? We need to trade Luka Doncic, the generational talent, future Hall of Famer. In fact, the guy who's already a Hall of Famer right now. What are we doing? I need to slow down a little bit. Okay, so let's break this trade down from all sides. I need to find the Shams tweet. I'm just doing this one take. We're just going live. We're just gonna go live. I don't have time to reset here. So it's the Lakers get Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. The Mavs get Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first round pick. Literally just one first round pick in Anthony Davis is all it took to get Luka Doncic, who was 24, 25 years old right now. He's 25 years old, 80, by the way. I guess he turns 26. Wow, he's really getting up there in age, huh? And then Anthony Davis is 30 and incredibly injury prone. It all took was Max Christie, him in a first for the generational already Hall of Famer. And then the Jazz get Jalen Hood-Schifino. They just get involved in this trade. The Jazz get to say they were involved in the most insane trade in NBA history. Cool. Great for them. 2 second-round picks as well. I genuinely don't know what to make of it. I guess from the Lakers side, this is amazing for the Lakers. Sure, the LeBron, Luka Doncic fit is a little bit weird. They definitely need to get a big man now that you don't have Anthony Davis anymore. But you now have a superstar to play alongside LeBron James. He can learn from LeBron. This gives a lot longer of a leash for the Lakers to compete for a championship, because with Luka at the helm, if you just give him a decent supporting cast, which the Lakers kind of have, you can compete with the best of them. LeBron is better than Kyrie Irving, and Luka made it there with Kyrie last season, and they've got some decent supporting pieces. You make some more moves at the deadline. You really didn't have to give up that much in terms of assets to make this trade happen. The Lakers, I need to think about this more, but they could legitimately be a championship contender following this deadline. And I thought there was no way that was going to happen. I honestly thought it was just the end of LeBron with the Lakers, that, he and LA were going to fade into obscurity, that maybe he'd end up going somewhere to play the last couple of years. But no, this team could legitimately compete for a championship this season. We have a new contender. And meanwhile, for the Mavericks, their GM said that this was a win now move, that defense wins championships. But in my opinion, they are no longer a championship contender. They do not have a guy anymore. 80, he's awesome. He is top 10. He's amazing. One of the best defensive players that I've ever watched. Still really good offensively. Kyrie's sick, but you don't now have the guy. You had it in Luka Doncic. He was going to be your guy. It seemed like he was going to be a Mavericks lifer. He came after Dirk, and it's oh yeah, he's the new face of the city. He's going to be here forever and ever. And you just dealt him away willingly. This is one of the most insane front office decisions I could possibly comprehend. Again, it feels like a 2K trade. It feels like something someone made up. If I saw an article or an NBA Instagram, something that suggested this trade, I'd call it the dumbest thing imaginable. I cannot believe that this trade actually happened. It's even harder to think about the repercussions. What does this mean for the rest of the NBA? And, people were talking about this deadline potentially being boring. I spent most of today editing a video talking about hey, I'm actually optimistic. Maybe we see Brandon Ingram or Jimmy Butler or De'Aaron Fox. These guys moved at the deadline. Never was I thinking Luka Doncic. Never. It was never even a thought that crossed my mind. I guess Kyrie and AD are a cool duo. Sure, they still have them too. Klay Thompson, they're still going to be a good team. But in my opinion, this takes them out of championship contention. I just don't know what they were doing with this deal. If I was a Mavericks fan, I'd be losing my mind. As a Thunder fan, I thought the Mavericks were one of our worst matchups, like I thought the Thunder could beat anybody en route to the NBA Finals, especially when Chet comes back. But like the Mavs were a tough team. I saw the Mavs as like the biggest threat to the Thunder making it back to the finals, or not. Well, I guess making it back for the first time since 2012, but making it there for the first time in this era. Like they felt like the threat, and now I'm not nearly as concerned about them. I'm honestly worried more about the Lakers in a potential matchup at this point, assuming they go out there and get a big, but like now that's a necessity. I would be shocked if they're not heavily pursuing Miles Turner if he actually is available, heavily pursuing Nikola Vucevic, although now it feels like they need a defensive big because Luka and LeBron isn't like the best defensive tandem in the world. In fact, it's probably pretty bad. So they definitely need to go out there and grab a big man of some kind. I'm trying to think of anybody else who's like even on the market right now that fits the bill, like Chris Boucher. I mean, he could help. I mean, they really don't need to make like a big splash. Like they don't have to get an amazing player. It just has to be someone to hold down the fort. But they still got like Dorian Finney-Smith now. Like the lineup, I guess, is Luka, Austin Reeves. You've got LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith, and whoever you get at the 5 spot. It's a pretty good lineup. It's pretty good. The defense, a little bit worrisome. They got to grab somebody that's really good at that spot. I guess now the more I think about it, they need a really good defensive big and so probably some help off the bench defensively. But like, yeah, I mean, just talent-wise, it's crazy over there. And like my brain is legitimately broke because of this trade. I need to literally look up the Lakers depth chart. Still off the bench, they have Gabe Vincent, they've got Dalton Connect, they've got Jared Vanderbilt to help out the defense too. I can't remember if I mentioned Rui or not, but they have him, of course. Bronny James now gets to play with Luka Doncic. That's insane. Like, I don't even know what to make of this. I don't know. Again, everybody thought Shams was hacked. It took until the Chris Haynes tweet came out and like the Bleacher Report app and ESPN and all these sites and stuff started to like actually confirm it for me to believe it. I didn't believe it. I like 15 people text me right off the bat and say, this is fake, right? And I was like, yeah, 100%. Shams got hacked. And we've talked a million times before about like, oh, if Shams got hacked, like people were like, oh, I would just tweet out the most insane trade possible. This was that deal. There was no trade that's ever come close. Like the Kevin Durant Phoenix Suns thing was also legitimately insane when that happened. Like that was like, whoa, what just happened? Like we knew, but even then we knew KD getting traded was like a possibility because he requested the trade in the offseason and this and that. Like there was no rumor at all about Luka being traded. He's like one of the few guys that I would have told you was absolutely untouchable in the league. It's like Jokic and Giannis and Luka and Shea. And like, that's probably it. It's just completely untouchable. Like, there's basically no way you can get them at this point. Like, also Victor Wembanyama, of course, him. But like, I'm out of words. Trying to think about it, like what it means for us. Like, shout out to the Jazz, by the way, again, getting involved in this deal, getting Jalen Hood-Schifino and a couple of second-round picks. Cool. Good for you. What does this mean for the trade market? I mean, I guess now the Lakers are like main big players for a center spot. Like the Mavericks, are they going to do more stuff to shape this roster? And from their perspective, like I guess the starting lineup at this point, it's Kyrie, it's going to be Clay, it's going to be PJ Washington, of course, Najee Marshall and Anthony Davis. Like it's still a good team. Like it's a really good team, but you trade away a generational already Hall of Fame player. I cannot wrap my head around that. I need Mavericks and Lakers fans to tell me how they're feeling down below in the comments, specifically Mavericks fans, because, shout out to like my guy Slightly Biased. I saw he was doing a YouTube live stream and I've seen a few other Mavericks fans crashing out on my timeline, freaking out about this deal. I would too. Like, I can't even fathom what I would feel like if just suddenly the Thunder traded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And that's maybe the wildest thing too, is like the Mavericks are legitimate championship contenders. Legitimately. Even though they've been dealing with injuries this season, they've fallen down the standings, this and that, they are championship contenders when fully healthy. They were in the finals last year. It's not like they were a bad team and it's like, oh, maybe there's a 1% chance where they trade Luka and they decide to reset this thing. Nobody was thinking about a reset, including the Mavericks don't even consider it a reset. They think this is a win now move, trading one of the best players on the planet. I cannot understand. This is the best league in the world. Nothing comes close. Nothing comes close to the NBA. You don't see drama, insanity like this in any other sport. I can't think of any other sport where suddenly a top 3 player is traded to the biggest market out of the blue. In fact, before today, I wouldn't even told you that was the NBA, but this is the nature of things. One thing I said in my NBA trade deadline, like full video, that might be scrapped now because it feels like the whole league has changed, is like, it's the NBA. I've been optimistic about it being a big time deadline and this and that, but I've continued to say that for some reason. I think that's just, again, my head going in loops and circles because of this move. But like I said, that it's the NBA, anything insane could happen. Not this. This didn't feel possible. And here it is. Luka Doncic is a Laker. Luka Doncic is going to play with LeBron James in LA. Never thought I'd say those words. Never. Ever. I would have sooner said that LeBron was going to be playing with Luka in Dallas, is what I would have told you. AD is a Dallas Maverick. Like, there was one point where it's like, hey, you know, if the Lakers decide to blow it up, move off of AD and Braun, like maybe AD ends up in Dallas with Kyrie and Luka. Like that would be pretty cool. Instead, literally the Lakers played in the Garden tonight. It's so crazy. It's so insane. I need to know your thoughts on this trade. Please let me know. Both just the fact that it happened, but also like, you know, how does this fit for both teams? I need to know what your thoughts are. I can't keep going like this anymore. I gotta hop on a Bleacher Report live stream that I'm late to now because I'm recording this because it's like, I didn't mean to go this long, 10 minutes. But please let me know your thoughts on this trade. What the hell just happened?